Please remain standing for a moment of silence for Hervé Gendreau, who retired as the Lewiston Chief of Police and served the city for over 49 years. He passed away on March 1st. Thank you. Please be seated. So we're going to start tonight with recognition of Bill Healy. Bill was recently awarded the Residential Evaluation Specialist designation by the International Association of Assessing Officers. Attaining one of the highest honors within the assessing profession is commendable, and Lewiston is very proud and honored to have you on its team as the only assessor in Maine with this distinction. So well done.
Thank you very much.
You get to have the honorary photo with all of us.
Okay.
Really good at this. Yeah, you guys. Hello. We're smaller, but assume the position.
You have to come. Okay. There's a very
get the setup. Less of me makes it a little easier. I know. It's perfect. Thank you. It's like competing on a hockey line. Ever play hockey and all? Nope. And sometimes
so can I have a motion to approve the minutes of the February 19th meeting?
So moved. Second.
Motion made by Councilor Beam, seconded by Councilor Pettengill. All in favor? Roll call votes?
Yeah, all roll call votes for this meeting will begin with a councilor of Ward 5, and we'll also note for the record that there are 2 excused absences for this meeting. Mayor Bouchard and Councilor Ray both have excused absences for tonight.
Great. Can you please read the consent agenda?
Sure. The consent agenda your agenda has 3 items, but Councilor Marcotte has requested that item number 1 be removed from the consent agenda. So the consent agenda before you tonight is item number 2, order authorizing the Public Works Department to prohibit vehicles with a gross vehicle weight greater than 23,000 pounds from traveling on certain roads for the period from March 6th, 2019 to May 1st, 2019. And item number 3, order authorizing execution of a municipal quitclaim deed for real estate located at 47 Gloria Street.
So moved.
Second.
So motion by Councilor LaJoy, seconded by Councilor Lyson. All those in favor?
Motion passed by a vote of 6-0.
So agenda item number 1.
Item number 1, amendment to the traffic schedule regarding loading zones on Spruce Street. Requested action to approve an amendment to the traffic schedule regarding the addition of a designated loading zone on Spruce Street at the intersection with Bates Street as outlined on the attached memorandum. Motion?
Can I,
So move.
Second.
so motion by Councilor LaJoy, seconded by Councilor Lyson. Any discussion on the council? Councilor Marcotte?
Can you tell us what zone this is in?
What planning zone, land use zone?
Land use?
To be honest, I would assume it's in either downtown residential or Saunderville. I'd have to go check off our maps.
I believe it's downtown residential. Do we have loading zones anywhere else in downtown residential?
Yes, I know there are several. There's one that I can think of that we recently established around the corner from that location for the drop-off for the Head Start program at the prior school. There are loading zones on Pine Street by the markets. I don't know if there's any on Ash Street.
Pine Street is community business.
That's correct. I would have to actually go look at the maps and see, Chief. Are you aware of any others?
Because I think it's highly irregular to have loading zones in residential areas. And if this particular operation has outgrown its use, they should be looking for another location.
Councilor Lyson?
Well, Mr. Marcotte, or Councilor Marcotte, if you'd want to put forward a recommendation to have a public shelter or day center, I think that would make some sense. But this is one that's providing a much-needed service within this community. I think I'm correct in saying that churches are allowed in every residential zoning district in town, because that's where they should be, in neighborhoods. And this one happens to be in a downtown location off the park. Been by there many, many, many times, know what they're doing, and they obviously need, it's de facto now when the trucks come in, but certainly it's difficult when there are cars parked in strategic areas that could be facilitated, or would facilitate the delivery of goods that have to go to the donations, in particular food, are pretty significant. They also have a clothing shelter there, and do lots of good work. So totally in approval of this, and it's really not a zoning issue, and I don't think it's irregular, in my opinion. Thank you.
Do we have any other churches in this community that have loading zones?
The chief might know.
Excuse me. Well, I can tell you in years past, when St. Patrick's Church was in operation, we used to block the street, make it a one-way. We actually have a city ordinance in regards to that, where we would change the parking so the Catholics could park on both sides of the streets. I would just reiterate what Councilor Lyson said, that Trinity Church provides a much-needed location in the downtown. The food, the job training, everything that provide is a huge benefit to the downtown community, and I would, strongly support this loading zone for Erin Reed and her group over there at Trinity Church. But in terms of actually loading zones at churches, I'm not aware of any other ones.
Neither am I.
But I think this church provides something unique, different from many other churches here in Lewiston, by allowing the space down in the basement to be utilized by the food kitchen and all the other services they provide.
Unfortunately, sometimes these services turn into a cottage industry and last for decades. I've been familiar with this particular location for at least 2.5 decades. And I don't see where we should be providing loading zones in the downtown residential and for this particular use, this particular land use. So that's it.
Any further discussion? To the public? Back to the council. Call the roll.
Counselor from Ward 5?
Yes.
Ward 6?
Yes.
Ward 7?
No.
Ward 1?
Yes.
Ward 2?
No.
And Ward 4?
Yes.
Motion passed by a vote of 5 to 2.
No.
I'm sorry, 4 to 2. Thank you. 4 to 2, sorry, 4 to 2.
I'm realizing I forgot public comment
Yes,
period.
I was just gonna say
Should we go
that.
back and do that now? Okay. So I'm going to open it up for public comment period for anyone who wants to speak on anything that's not on the agenda.
That's not on the agenda?
Yes.
Okay, great.
And if you can just state your name and your address
Yes,
for the record.
thank you very much. My name is Melissa Dunn. I'm a resident of homeowner at 254 Blake Street in the downtown, proud homeowner. I'm here today because I'm about a month late. But I first heard on the news about the city looking into imposing a fine for trash and debris in Lewiston, and I honestly don't know where that's at right now. I work 3 jobs, so please forgive me. But a little short history. I've been a community organizer in the downtown for, God knows, 7, 8 years now. I'm getting old. And I'm still continuing to do that work with Lewiston United for Peace and Hope initiative that came out from 2 deaths due to street violence last summer. And we've had a great turnout, organizing 300 people within just about 2 months. And we address anti-violence, anti-classism, over-policing, and anti-racism, if I didn't say that again. But anyway, So much of our work is about engaging community, and you know, we know downtown has been labeled as like a poor people's problem when it comes to trash. I've had many conversations here with City Council pre this like term, whoever's here sitting on this seat, about trash. And when Gil used to be here, he said, if you don't like it, then you can change it. Well, it takes some engagement, and what I did was reach out to residents that I work with and youth from Maine Immigrant and Refugee Services to have really kind of a really complex discussion on how we can address trash in Lewiston and in the downtown, with the purpose of beautification and utilizing public spaces, building leadership development and working relationships through collaboration of partners, like downtown organizations, specifically businesses, city officials, and sponsors, and influence change in policies through the decision-making process, and improve local economy and encourage business development. But, you know, I heard from the youth that they want to see a lot more color, and I thought it was a great way to do a public art for social change initiative to try to address trash there through the discussions that we've collected. And, you know, we have a team of people willing to do the work and to educate their neighbors and to have conversations with property owners and residents on trying to figure out what are the needs that need to be addressed to address trash in Lewiston. And it's not just a poor people's problem, but like my fear and my worry is like the city imposing fines on property owners that are already feeling the burdens from other things. I'd rather them pay for landlord registration than pay for fines for trash, because it's really a complex issue. It's not just a poor people's problem. It's the city's concern. It's property owners' concern, where they don't have space to put trash or trash receptacles, and you know, a residents' problems. You know, maybe they can't afford a $50, $60 trash can to hold a week's worth of trash, especially if they have a large family. You know, so I'm in hopes that we can reach out to city councilors and city admin to really talk more about the community engagement project. It's been kind of like in the works for the past couple of years. It's just slow going at times, but we really kind of strongly oppose any kind of fine at this time until there's like real discussion around engaging community and how to address trash in the downtown. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else for public comment?
My name is Heather Everly, and I am a resident at 17 House Street. I am here because I want to ask for the forfeiture of Mayor Bouchard. I was on Ben Chin's committee on his. Okay, sorry. I did work with Ben Chin as a recruiter with MPA, and around the time of the residency restrictions, I connected with Mayor Bouchard, where I had an affair with him, and he was able to retrieve emails from MPA's and Ben Chin's campaign. I found yesterday the ethics and whistleblowers policies and the whistleblower protection and reporting policy. I don't really think that I'll ever be able to stay anonymous, so I figure the best thing I can do for my community is just come forward and be honest and share what I know. I gave the emails to Shane Bouchard, I'm shaking, on September 26th of 2018, and he then gave those emails to the Republican Party, to Jason Savage, who wrote articles for the Maine Examiner that twisted Ben's words. It made him out to be a racist or to be pointing fingers at other people as racist. The Republican Party has, through Mayor Bouchard, rigged the election. They interfered and affected the results, and they were also able to influence the votes of people, especially in the ward that I was in. I was dating a person who was abusive, and he went through my phone, and he contacted Mayor Bouchard and extorted him for $1,500 because Mayor Bouchard wanted to hide our affair, and because he wanted to hide his other secrets of human trafficking within our community. Our council and our mayor are supposed to be leaders, and we're fighting. We have meetings to help protect women, where we have a man like this out there purchasing them, extorting them, and then sitting in council acting like he's trying to solve some problems, and he's not. I'm not completely innocent in this, and it's taken a lot of time and finding people to support me through this. But again, I would really like for the council to consider forfeiting our mayor's position. Thank you.
Thanks, Heather. Any other public comment?
If there's no other comment for public comment, then we can move on to the next agenda item, which is item number 4, if that's okay with you, Madam President. So item number 4, public hearing on a new application for a new liquor license for Boba at 97 Lisbon Street. Requested action to authorize the city clerk's office to approve a new liquor license application for Boba, 97 Lisbon Street.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilor Lyson, seconded by Councilor Marcotte. Any discussion on the council? Councilor Marcotte?
I'm just curious, is anyone here from Boba? None. Are you the same one that used to be on, or still is, on Scribner?
I'm no longer on Scribner, sir.
Okay, but you're the same entity?
We're not the same entity. We're actually Bova Holdings LLC now.
Okay.
We're actually a partnership. We formed back in December. We have a membership. We have 6 members in our group now, all business professionals throughout the city. Yeah. So.
Are you still serving the same sort of food as?
We actually rebranded to a Asian street style concept. It's a kind of a brand new concept that we're doing. We serve Vietnamese noodle soup, which is pho, banh mi's, dumplings. I've been in business for about 3 years now. So.
Because I've heard nothing but good raves about the Scribner Street address.
Oh, thank you.
Anyone else? To the public? Back to the council. Call the roll.
Councilor from Ward 5?
Yes.
Ward 6?
Yes.
Ward 7?
Yes.
Ward 1?
Yes.
Ward 2?
Yes.
And Ward 4?
Yes.
Motion passed by a vote of 6-0.
Agenda item number 5.
Item number 5, you do have an amended cover sheet and resolve that the city administrator passed out earlier this evening. So item number 5, resolve rescinding the appropriation of all but $5,000 from the tree bait program. Requested action to approve the resolve repealing Master Policy 40 tree bait program and rescinding the remaining program appropriation.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilor Lyson, seconded by Councilor LaJoy. Any discussion on the council? Councilor Marcotte?
Did I just hear the original motion being made?
No, the original motion was to eliminate the policy completely and deappropriate all remaining funds. This would leave the policy in effect and continue $5,000.
Okay, so 5,000 would remain.
And then the revised resolve is attached to that, Counselor?
on
So
the
that's the item that you'd be voting on tonight.
Because I quickly thought I heard something that sounded like the original agenda item. I just wanted to make sure.
Right, I think the language below for requested action is identical, you're right, but the resolve that it's referencing is the revised resolve that's attached.
So, and through a few emails, I believe that there are 14
Correct.
trees in the pipeline, so that would
Yes.
that would equate to roughly 1,400.
Yes, that would be capped at no more than 1,400, yes.
Okay, and we can revisit again next year whether there needs to be more funds supplied to the fund.
I will ask Public Works to keep an eye on it and let us know how it's going. I'm kind of thinking that hopefully the $5,000 would last for a couple of years.
Yeah.
That's it. Any further discussion on the council?
I just question how much advertising has been done in this program, too. I
Quite a
mean,
bit.
if we did more advertising, obviously, we would.
When the program was first started, we put together, we included a mailing in all of the water and sewer bills. We had posters done. We have information available upstairs at various locations around the city, posters indicating the program is available. I know that the forester, or arborist rather, reached out to the various nurseries in the area to let them know about the program, to see if they would, push it with their residents as well. So I think we certainly did. The majority of the money we spent so far was spent trying to market the program.
Thank you.
Anyone from the public?
I just need clarification, because there's going to be somebody to speak on this issue specifically, but I don't know enough about it, and I should. If somebody can clarify exactly what this means, if it passes.
So Ed, do you want to?
Sure. The city has established a program where individuals can receive a partial rebate for purchasing and planting one of a number of species of trees that are acceptable on private property so long as it's visible from the right-of-way. So you can get up to $100 rebated if you purchase and plant an approved tree on your property.
If you're a homeowner, but not like a landlord.
I don't believe the program makes a distinction between those.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
And what the resolve does is currently there's a big chunk of money in that account. It leaves $5,000 in the account based upon what we've had for interest in the program and sends the rest back to the general fund. Right? Back to the council. Call the roll.
Counselor from Ward 5,
Yes.
Ward 6,
Yes.
Ward 7,
Yes.
Ward 1,
Yes.
Ward 2,
Yes.
Ward 4.
Yes.
Motion passed by a vote of 6-0.
Agenda item number 6.
Item number 6. Resolve indicating the support of the Lewiston City Council for LD 47 and act to authorize a general fund balance issue to invest in fire stations. Requested action to approve the resolve indicating the support of the Lewiston City Council for LD 47 and act to authorize a general fund bond issue to invest in fire stations.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilor Lyson, seconded by Councilor Beam. Any discussion on the council? Councilor Marcotte?
I was hoping that would recommend even upping that somewhat. $25 million statewide won't go very far. I'm sure that the legislators who proposed the bill probably had their particular communities in mind. And so if we could just add something that suggests that they increase the amount, we don't even have to give a number, just a suggestion that the amount should be larger.
We could certainly include that in the communication to the legislators.
So does that require a change to the resolve?
Why don't you do this? Why don't you pass the resolve, and then Councilor Marcotte would make a motion suggesting that in our communications, we indicate that even more money would be appropriate given the extent of the need and the number of communities.
In the cover letter. Yeah,
That works.
that works.
Any further discussion on the council? To the public? Back to the council? Call the roll.
Council from Ward 5?
Yes.
Ward 6?
Yes.
Ward 7?
Yes.
Ward 1?
Yes.
Ward 2?
Yes.
Ward 4?
Yes.
Motion passed by a vote of 6-0.
Councilor Marcotte, did you want to make that? Does he need to make the recommendation again, or we're?
Just make a motion that when we communicate our support for this, we also suggest that additional funds over and above the 25 million would be appropriate.
Move what Ed just said.
Second.
Said it well.
Do we,
If there's discussion.
any further discussion? For the public? Back to the council.
Counselor from Ward 5?
Yes.
Ward 6?
Yes.
Ward 7?
Yes.
Ward 1?
Yes.
Ward 2?
Yes.
And Ward 4?
Yes.
Motion passed by a vote of 6-0.
Reports and updates. So since Councilor Ray is not here, she asked me to read an update for her from the school committee. From their meeting on February 25th, they had a workshop on expeditionary learning at the middle school. They voted to create a poverty awareness ad hoc committee that will be chaired by Peter Geiger. And they'll learn from Harlem Children's Zone and find ways to apply learning to Lewiston Public Schools. And they approved the new name for the Visual and Performing Arts Building Subcommittee to the LHS Building Expansion and Improvement Committee. At their school committee meeting on March 4th, they had a workshop on teaching and learning, or a workshop on the Teaching and Learning Ad Hoc Committee's recommendations for 2019-2020 school year, including grading policy at the high school, middle school, and elementary school level. The committee is to provide a draft policy based on subcommittee recommendations at the April 8th meeting. They did a budget overview. They presented with 3 budget options to be considered by the school committee. The draft budget is being presented with option 2, which keeps the mill rate at $10.68, which is the same as last year. The format is different from past years based on school committee and our feedback from the FY19 budget review. And from the Maine Education Policy Research Institute, they met in Augusta on March 1st, and Councilor Ray attended as the Maine Municipal Association's representative. They reviewed the 2018-2019 session work plan and started to discuss the work plan for 2019-2020. Does anyone have any other reports or updates? Any other business city councilors or others may have relating to Lewiston City Government? Do I have a motion?
To adjourn?
Were you going to ask?
I have a motion by Councilor Lyson.
Counselor Cloutier?
One quick question. As you know, we're going to start budget on the 16th. And normally on city council meeting nights, we start on the 19th, excuse me.
Thank you.
Thank God for Heather.
In the past, on city council nights, not Thursdays, but the Tuesdays when we have a regular council meeting, we've frequently started budget meetings at 5:30. I know that may be an issue for some of you, and I just wanted to see if it was okay for us to go ahead and start at 5:30 on regular city council meeting nights.
So I won't ever probably know if it's going to be an issue for me, but I will try to be here at 5:30
Okay.
as often as I can.
And Councilor Marcotte, that'll work for you now? Great, thank you.
I'm all set.
Okay. So I have a motion by Councilor Lyson, seconded by Councilor Beam. All those in favor?
Motion passed by a vote of 6-0. Bang the gavel to adjourn.